Welcome to the night mode edition of the Mark Jackson Show on the Come and Talk to Me Network. I'm Mark Jackson. Unfortunately, my dynamic co-host, my guy Blue, is a little under the weather, so we promised you that we would come and give a recap after each game of the finals. This is game one, so I didn't want to disappoint and have an opportunity to come and talk to you guys. First, let's shout out our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Sign up using the promo code MARK to claim the first deposit offer up to $250 in cash. That's Underdog Fantasy. Shout out. We certainly appreciate the love and support from everybody. Now let's get to game one. Boston Celtics was absolutely dominant. 107-89 victory. If you asked the Boston Celtics to script game one the way that they would have it go, it would be close to what they did. They were dominant on the offensive end. They knocked down the long ball. They also defended at a high level, holding the Dallas Mavericks to the least amount of points they've been able to score in this postseason. And then you got a healthy, whole Kristaps Porzingis dominating the first half of basketball and putting on a clinic in just 21 minutes. They were stellar across the board. 5 players that started the game for the Celtics, all in double figures. And then Kristaps Porzingis coming off the bench in double figures. A stellar performance by Jaylen Brown, who took the challenge defensively, rebounded, 6 rebounds, steals, 3 block shots, and scored at a high level, very efficient. Set the tone playing stellar as he usually does this time of year. Jason Tatum wasn't spectacular offensively, but 11 rebounds and 6 assists, a complete basketball game by him. I thought Holiday and White was special defensively. Horford was special defensively. It was just a total team effort. And with the Dallas Mavericks, you can say, well, you're concerned? Are they overmatched? I didn't get the sense that they were overmatched. They climbed back into the ball game and cut it to single digits. The thing I got the sense of was the layoff affected them to a certain extent. But even more importantly, I thought the bright lights, the lack of experience, the difference between playing in regular playoff basketball, whether it's Eastern Conference, Western Conference, or regular playoff games, and then getting to the finals. I'm a witness of that. I got there one time in 17 years. But it's a whole different level when you look onto the court. You go out to practice the first time before game one of the NBA Finals, and it's hundreds of media people with cameras, with notepads, with computers, asking questions, 5 minutes here, 5. You have to be locked and loaded. And you had one team that understood, the majority of them understood because they had experienced it. Even a new guy in Drew Holiday, he experienced NBA Finals. He's an NBA champion, so it wasn't a surprise. I thought it's an adjustment that has to be made by the Dallas Mavericks. And I totally expect to see them adjust. One thing I look to see them, to have them do, I think Luka and Kyrie's got to be more aggressive, even more aggressive to score. I've been there before. You come off a pick and roll, I'm a non-scorer. They come off the pick and roll, they go underneath, they dare me to shoot, and I don't shoot the basketball. If I don't shoot the basketball, truth be told, I'm hurting my team. The Boston Celtics had a game plan, taking away the lob threats of Gafford, of Lively, of Derrick Jones, of P.J. Washington, taking away the lob threats to the rim of those guys, not allowing them to get to easy hoops, and forcing Kyrie and Luka to be scorers. They didn't make the adjustment, I thought, until the third quarter. They've got to put their foot on the gas pedal and become scorers. I don't care how I look and you see 12 for 26 for Luka, 6 for 19 from Kyrie. You say, well, they shot the basketball. I want them to shoot even more. Until the Celtics make the adjustment defensively, forcing them to get rid of the basketball, they should have the mindset to score. I thought early on, floaters, they turned down. Mid-range shots, they turned down. Put your head down, put your foot on the gas pedal, and look to attack. And the other thing, which we witnessed during the course of these playoffs early on, the Dallas Mavericks have to get help for Luka and Kyrie. Those guys got to be aggressive and play. The only guy that I thought was aggressive and played with force was P.J. Washington. I thought he had a mindset of getting into the paint and attacking, scored 14 points. But he was the only guy not named Luka or Kyrie that looked to play with the type of intensity offensively that you need. So I thought it was an unfortunate game to watch because it wasn't a close game, truth be told. But I thought there were some good things from both sides that they can take, but a stellar performance by the Boston Celtics, a statement made in game one across the board. Now, when you get to the finals, when you get to playoff basketball, it boils down to adjustments. from game 1 to 2 to 2 to 3 and so on. What adjustments will the Dallas Mavericks make? And it doesn't just mean adjustments from the winning team or the losing team. It's adjustments by both teams, because you break down the film, there's some things as a winning coach or a losing coach that you say, well, we could have done better. Or I thought this would work, but it didn't work. Or I thought this wouldn't work, and you stumble onto something very well. I thought it was a stellar performance by the Celtics. And one thing I want to say, we didn't get a chance to talk about this a couple episodes ago when the news broke, but I thought it was a class gesture by the Boston Celtics wearing Walton across their chests on the T-shirts, giving a special shout out to one of the all-time great basketball players in the history of this game and all-time great people who we lost, I guess, a little over a week ago or so, the great Bill Walton, a guy that I knew, I worked with, and had the pleasure of working with him one time doing a crossover for NBA games and college games. We did coincidentally enough, it was a Peyton Pritchett game, Oregon versus Wake Forest, I believe. And Bill Walton and I called the game, and it was a lot of fun. I can remember talking to him before the game, and he'd go, save it for the air. He didn't want to have any dialogue before the game. He wanted to make everything pure and natural during the course of the game. And I documented it on Instagram, but I had my young son with me, JetStanley, who does all the music for the Mark Jackson show. I had him with me, and he was deciding what college to go to. Didn't go to Oregon, but visited Oregon. I can remember Bill Walton. He's a graduate of USC, by the way, a little flex. Congratulations. But Bill Walton pulled him aside when he met him, and he said, give me your phone. And he grabs my son's phone, and he puts his phone number in the phone, and he locks it and puts the contact information, Bill Walton, and then he gives it back to him, and he said, if you need anything, don't you hesitate to call. Man, as a dad, blessed me so much. I fell in love with Bill Walton right then and there. And he was a total class act and tremendous human being. So shout out to the Boston Celtics for acknowledging one of their all-time greats, a guy that's a champion, not only with the Portland Trailblazers, not only at UCLA, but also with the Boston Celtics. So appreciate the love and support you showed to an all-time great, not just basketball player, but a legend of the game. But I thought it was a great start to game 1. Truth be told, I missed the ability to call the action with Mike Breen and Jeff Van Gundy. So sitting there was strange for me to sit there and watch and be a fan of the game just from the standpoint of watching like everybody else does. I did miss it, but fun game, fun moments, and a big-time Game 1 message sent by the Boston Celtics. Now, if you're the Dallas Mavericks, you got to look to regroup, you got to look to bounce back, and you got to look to find a way to loosen up the supporting cast and get Kyrie and Luka to put their foot on the gas pedal. I don't care if they got to shoot 40 times. If a defense is set and geared towards giving you shots, then you take those shots. And if they're forced and geared towards making you a playmaker, then make the plays. Whatever it's called upon for you to do, the great ones find a way to react, respond, and force the opposition to make the proper adjustments. And I think that's something I'm going to be looking forward to moving forward as far as Game 2 is concerned in this NBA Finals. We talked about having a special guest for the episode. The special guest is obviously Reggie Miller. And what a time we had doing an interview with him, sitting down and breaking bread. It's a 2-part episode with Reggie where we talked for quite a bit, a long time, and had some great, tremendous stories. And I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it. So without further ado, I give to you the legend, the great, the Hall of Famer, not just basketball player, not just teammate, not just brother, but family for life, Reggie Miller. Enjoy it.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Mark Jackson Show. I'm extra excited today because we have a special guest. I told you we had a lot in store. It's my uncle, man, Reggie Miller. Go on and give it up, y'all. Come on, I need some excitement in this room. Come on, man. Come on, man. Huh?
This dude is good.
Come on, you done seen me my whole life. What you talking about?
Now, look, we talked about this before we came on air. Mm-hmm. I'm going to refer to you as Little Jack.
That's cool.
That's all I know you as is Little Jack. I know you're Blue the artist and all. And you're running around Hollywood with all your Hollywood friends and all that.
Yo, do that to him. Don't put my business in the street.
You're Little Jack to me. You'll always be Little Jack. This is Big Jack, Little Jack.
Nah.
I got a problem, though.
What's up?
I'm threading the needle, finding him in all the action, putting him in position to score. The dude never said, this dude is good. What the heck is that all about?
You never gave him a good intro. But matter of fact, we didn't really give insight to all your accolades. So I see you got that piece of paper in your hands, and I know what that means.
Why are we going
down?
Come on,
go ahead, Pop. I'm gonna let you intro.
Why are we going down this?
Go ahead,
Second
intro.
time ever. Patrick Ewing, I had to read the credentials.
You don't have to read any
credentials. No, I do.
Let
Good try trying to eliminate it by giving him props right away. You're not falling for the okie doke. From Riverside, California.
Okay, you can end there.
Not the hood, the suburbs.
No, the base.
Graduate from UCLA, prestigious UCLA.
First of all,
degree in history.
Riverside Poly, then UCLA. If you're gonna go to Riverside, talk about Riverside Poly first.
Get my man's resume
UCLA.
right. Get his resume right.
Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. We don't need this.
I feel you. Give me that.
Come on, man.
Finished second all-time in scoring in UCLA history behind the great Lou Alcindor, later known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. UCLA retired as number 31.
I think I'm third. Get it right.
Well, I said you finished. I said you
finished. He needs his glasses.
No, that's correct.
He needs his glasses.
I'm correct. He finished second.
He's right. He's right. I did finish.
Say that again.
Only to be surpassed by Don McClain.
11th pick in the 1987 NBA draft. Should have been me. Five-time All-Star. A gold medalist representing USA. 2012 Naismith Basketball Memorial Hall of Famer. My guy.
Are we done?
We're not.
Can we get to just talking?
75th. One of the top 75 players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting it done. That had to be a shocker.
These kids are
the voice of the NBA with TNT.
That had to be a shocker.
18-year NBA career. There's only 5 guys that played with a team longer in NBA history. We know them as John Stockton. Well, I don't even have to say their whole name. Stockton, Malone, Dirk, Duncan, and Kobe. And then there's Miller. My guy, family for life, my brother, Reggie Miller.
Much love, man.
Y'all got to clap again. It's okay.
Come on, man.
Get
rid of that. We don't even need that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you ever go on Jimmy Fallon or Letterman?
Yes.
No. Do you ever grab their notes? Be respectful, man.
First of all, they don't need notes, so I can see.
Shots fired.
I can see where the intellect is, St. John's and all. But
wow. Can we get start the interview?
I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice.
Thank you.
How did it? Oh, I forgot the biggest thing. They always say he's not a champion. I forgot the biggest part of his resume. I didn't even realize the dude's a champion. He won the NIT championship in 1985.
Right. We did. Give us our claim, man.
I didn't realize because we were too busy in the Final Four at St. John's University. No, in '85.
I think that year we beat y'all. No. What year did we beat y'all?
You didn't. You were suspended. Did you realize you didn't recognize yesterday why you were suspended? You know why you were suspended.
I do not know why I was suspended. I don't think I was suspended.
Okay, I'm going to whisper it to you. He remembers why he was suspended.
You want to share?
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, you remember?
Maybe.
It happened.
I don't know.
You were suspended for the game.
For that game?
Yes. I remember I was looking for the big-head dude to give him...
So, in other words, we beat y'all without me?
No. You don't even remember being suspended. Y'all lost.
How many times did we play you in college?
It doesn't matter. Y'all lost. Here's my question to you, my first question. How does it feel growing up in a household and you're the second best player in the household?
Well, you said it right there.
I said, how does it feel?
I think it was motivating for me to be in that house with... And you're alluding to the greatest women's basketball player of all time, Cheryl.
No argument here.
It was motivating for me, but I wasn't the second best. I may have been even lower on the totem pole because our older brothers, Saul Jr. and Daryl was a professional baseball player, so I was underneath him as well. So I might have been the third or fourth best player in our family.
It's different when I'm better than Blue, but when Heaven...
Well, that's your son.
That's your son. How did I catch it straight?
But it's different.
Hold on. Yeah. It's pretty obvious I'm the second best player. What is going on?
That's your son.
How did I catch it straight?
I'm making a scenario. Can you imagine if Heaven was better than you in the household?
I'm still catching up. What did
I still don't understand what would be the problem if heaven was better than me. Big deal.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. When my brother was better than me, it's frustrating. If my sister's better than me and giving me the business, and I get 40 and I'm bragging about what I did, and she comes home and says what?
I dropped 105. 105. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, pop.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
How are you going to compete with someone dropping 105?
Did it hurt you when you heard it a little bit?
First of all, I was in disbelief. I'm like, is that possible in a high school game?
Yeah.
This is not like a college game where there's 40 minutes. High school, there's 32. Like, did this really happen?
Yeah.
So I was in disbelief, and then I just was shaking my head like, come on, man.
Unbelievable.
Come on, man.
Yeah. And I don't think, there's certain people, like you look back in the days as men's basketball players, there's certain guys that would not have the same effect, with all due respect, today as they did years ago because the skill set and all of that. Cheryl Miller, you can put her in today's game, and she would be the same Cheryl Miller.
Her game, it's hard to define her game because, we talk about players playing in different generations. Could LeBron play in the 80s? Yes. Could LeBron play in the 90s? Absolutely. Durant, same thing. Stephen Curry, absolutely. Cheryl was that type. Her skill set was because she played unbelievable defense, could shoot, could score, block shots, run the floor. But what made Cheryl great was she was tough as nails, and she was a great leader. She was a lot like, when you watched The Last Dance and you watched MJ, his personality, how he motivated his guys, and a lot of times they didn't like that, his teammates. Cheryl was a lot like that because she expected excellence every time you stepped on the floor. No matter if you were on her level or you were the 12th woman, bring your stuff today in practice and it's going to translate to the game. And she expected everyone to play at a high level every single night, and she expected to win all the time. So that's what I was battling in the household, whether it was Uno, Clue, Sorry, Trouble, Spades. It was that type of competitive balance with her and Tammy and Saul and Daryl.
You had a household full of great competitors, and you wasn't just a great basketball player, but I can remember when we played softball in the league, how left-handed, reading it, placing it, outstanding baseball player as well.
That was my first love. I wanted to be the greatest hitter of all time, Rod Carew. We'll get to that later. Excuse me. So baseball was my first love, and because I wanted to be like my older brother Daryl, who again was a catcher for the Angels, and I just basketball was second nature to me. It was all about baseball, baseball, baseball. So I felt I was great in Little League, which I was. But then once I got to Pony and once I got to high school, the coach at Riverside Poly, he wanted me to pitch. And I pitched in Little League and, throwing no-hitters and doing all that. But the mound is closer. And you get to high school, the mound's further away, and I didn't have the arm strength. And he's like, well, we're going to make you a pitcher. I'm like, no, I want to play center field, shortstop. I want to be a, position. It's like, no, you're going to pitch. I'm like, no, I'm going to play outfield. It's like, no, you're going to pitch. I'm like, well, I'll just go to basketball. I'll just concentrate on basketball.
I have a debate with the great Jeff Van Gundy and Mike Breen all the time. You watch me play baseball. I'm going to put it to you. If you got an average pitcher in today's business throwing you 10 pitches, you get 10 swings. So if it's not a strike,
so just an average
major league
MLB pitcher. Okay,
right. He's throwing you 10 pitches, and you get 10 swings. Can you put one in play?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Give me some respect.
Absolutely.
They said we wouldn't even.
Absolutely.
These clowns say we wouldn't even touch.
Absolutely.
And you've seen my work. I agree with you. I've seen
maybe
your work.
not you. I know I'm putting it in play.
You see my work. Why you work trying to get material?
Yes. Out of 10, yes.
Yes, you're gonna put it in play.
Well, first of all, because we're natural athletes.
You preaching now.
So
that's why that's why I had to have you on the show.
I just feel our natural ability is going to rise to the occasion, especially if he's just a normal. Now, if it's Clayton Kershaw,
we're gonna be respectful.
I still may put it in play.
Me too.
I still may, out of one time, I still may put it in play. Now, it may not be in the outfield. I'll run it out to first, but I'm getting contact.
Absolutely. And what a shocker you answered back to Riverside Poly coach.
So are you saying Jeff said no?
They said not a chance.
Oh, come on, man. See, think about the Van Gundys, man.
Yeah.
We've had to work with both of them.
Yeah, piece of work.
Come on.
We've carried both of them. We got that in common. You carried Stan, I carried Jeff.
Oh, well, my phone's blowing up.
Real quick, because I think we brushed over something that I thought was interesting. I heard you talk about the legend, Miss Cheryl Miller. Mm-hmm. I heard you say she's tough. She was as tough as nails. I'm watching the WNBA. I'm seeing the way that these people are reacting to Caitlin Clark and other players getting roughed up, and they're acting as if it's new for women to have this ability to be tough as nails, or have this grit, or that it's new for them to be professionals. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I just want to know what's your ideas about Caitlin Clark, the WNBA, and what's just been going on these last few weeks.
Well, here's the thing, people. Finally, the women's game is getting the well-earned news coverage that it's always been. I've known this for years because I grew up in it. The women's game, they're just straight ballers, right? Yeah. And first of all, what did you expect was going to happen to her? Number one, I don't think it's jealousy. Oh my God, she's getting all the endorsements. We're going to go after her. You're playing at the highest level. You're playing in the WNBA. You're coming from college and you're going to the pro ranks, right? What did she expect was going to happen? Why are people so shocked, right? You're playing against grown women. The same thing happened to us as rookies, right? Going against MJ, they're out there trying to embarrass you, right? It's nothing personal, right? It's just the level between college. First of all, you go from high school, and it's a learning curve when you go to college. And then from college, when you go to the highest level, it's going to be a learning curve. There's only so many rookies that's ever been successful, right? LeBron, maybe, Magic, obviously MJ.
Me.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, I'm joking.
Rookie of the year. But of course she's going to take her lumps, right? It's a learning curve. So for everyone to say, oh my God, what's good? I feel so bad. Feel so bad?
Yeah.
These are grown women. This is the
They're professionals.
They're professionals. Let them play.
Yeah. And I think watching Angel Reese when she took the hit, her response during the press conference was, "What you expect?"
Yeah.
I expected it. AT got love for me. I got love for her. In between those lines.
That's how Caitlin should be responding to all these things. Is what Angel Reese said when Alyssa Thomas knocked her down. They're not going to take it easy on me.
Right.
I'm a rookie.
Right.
They're supposed to do that.
And they're going to have to see me.
Now, what I would love Caitlin to do is get up one time and then just slap the out of her.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Hold on, have you been holding on to that?
He been holding that. That was from the heart. That was from the heart. I feel it.
You know this. Sometimes you got to get up.
It. She got to stand up for herself at some point.
That's different. That's different than what this.
She got to stand up. He gave you the unedited version.
How about stand up and push back, or stand up and on the other end cheap foul somebody? How about what the Indiana Pacers did when the Milwaukee Bucks fought them dirty in their own mind? They went and found James Johnson off the streets and signed him.
Yes.
We're gonna pick him up and he's gonna handle the situation and nip all of that in the bud, being an enforcer. How about them doing that in the women's version?
Yes, because I believe the Fever do not have an enforcer on their squad. But sometimes it's got to come from the top. Yeah. And sometimes, if you're Caitlin, and you're right, maybe not get up and slap, but she can go down there and give someone.
But you letting them off the hook, because even though you're not an enforcer, you can still handle business. I remember Michael Jordan throwing the basketball off my head, and I was going to swell up. Before I got to him, you got to him. And you're from Riverside Poly. You're not from the streets of New York City.
Oh, man.
But I was so proud of the way you handled it, understanding that worst case scenario, Jack got this.
That's what he was thinking.
You didn't have that. And he and I have had history before, so we were just going to pile onto that.
This dude got into a full fight with Michael Jordan in the middle of the action. Forget about what's going on. Forget about the score. These guys are going after it.
It's competitors.
That's the same guy that wants Caitlin Clark to slap somebody.
Yes. Sometimes it starts at the top. She's the top of that team. Sometimes you got to handle your own business to show not only the rest of your teammates, all right, but you got to show people that are thinking about doing this, okay, well, if I do give her a hard shot, she might come back at me.
I agree. We've seen Steph do the same thing. He doesn't have to punch somebody or slap somebody, but you throw him to the side. We watched him stare down LeBron.
I am shocked at you.
We watched people.
No. I understand
you.
what y'all saying. What you're saying is different than what he's saying. We didn't see
It's the
Steph
same
Curry
thing.
haul off and slap somebody.
We watched him get fouled and then stare down LeBron like he could beat LeBron up,
I'm
knowing
fine
he
with
can't.
it. Who says he can't?
All right. I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not about that. But
I'm fine with that.
I'm saying the belief in yourself to stand up for yourself.
First of all, for all the people who are finally coming to the women's game, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Where you been?
Where you been? All right, they've been here forever, playing like this forever, and I think Caitlin will be fine.
Yeah.
And it's a rookie in a grown woman's game, and welcome to the league. It's going to be like this year, but she'll establish herself, and we'll all move on.
I will say this too, with all due respect, Caitlin Clark has changed the game and impacted the game.
Yes.
In an historic way.
In a positive way.
Yes. It's just not her. The game has advanced across the board. The talent level, we rave about it, the skill set of the NBA players. The same jump you can make the case has been made with the WNBA players and women's game.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And, because the reason why I wanted to talk about this, you and I are always great at making lists or who's the greatest ever or who's the best. So, I came up with who would be my top 5, really top 6. I had 6. If I was starting a women's team, I believe this team would be undefeated. Tell me.
I'm listening.
So you start thinking of your list, and I'll talk to Blue, Little Jack.
Let me get the list.
This is the greatest women's team ever.
Here.
In no order, but I'll start with Cheryl just because that's my sister.
Fair.
Cheryl Dean. Candace Parker, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, Cynthia Cooper. And I'm coming off the bench with Lisa Leslie.
There we go.
That team would be 500-0. 500-0.
That's a problem.
Give me another 6 that's beating my squad. And I'll throw another 7 in. I'll throw my 7th person, Tamika Catchings. No one's touching me. No one's touching that squad. No one.
I got no problem with his list. I probably would add Breanna Stewart on the list just for her accomplishments.
Who would you take?
You're not getting me. Nobody getting mad at me. I got no problem. It's
a great setup.
For the first time in history, we agree. I respect the list. Did you put Caitlin Clark on that list?
No.
Oh, no. Well, let's rewind. Let's
You putting
rewind.
Caitlin Clark on the list already?
No, we're talking about at their best. She has been incredible.
You
and she's
saying
had
that
a
she's
historic
with
start
them?
to a WNBA's career
She's
also.
with them?
Man, what is in your water over
She's
there,
with
man?
them?
I'm going to be respectful.
The 7 that he just named, she's with them?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
She's
not.
in the discussion.
She can't be.
What?
She's played 5 games.
What does that mean?
How can she be in the discussion with people who have full careers, resumes,
No, she's
showed
not.
us over? What are we doing? Why? It's not even a conversation. What are we doing?
What is wrong with you? There is no way she's
loosen your
anywhere
hoodie.
near
Loosen
that
your
list.
hoodie. Loosen your relax.
It
Just
starts
relax.
at the top. This dude making me want to slap him right now.
I'll put Sue Bird over Caitlin right now on that list.
It's too early to
I'm
throw
not going to
Caitlin
be
on the list.
disrespectful to any of the all-time greats. She is on that roster. She's on that roster.
I don't agree.
Oh, it's okay. It's not
And
the
I
first
love
time you
Caitlin. I think
disagree.
Caitlin
Wow.
Clark. I think she's an
No.
all-time great college player.
The?
No,
she's not. No, she's not.
No. I said and.
Oh, okay.
I said and.
That's why I'm trying to.
You getting real defensive. You got
You
to
let-
simmer
you
down.
know it's messed up.
You
You know
see-
it's messed-
he's
you need to
wrong.
simmer down
You
a little
can't
bit,
put
sir.
Caitlin Clark
You
on
need
this
to-
list right
you know
now.
Look at him.
what's
He's
messed up?
emotional.
You
He's
changed when
emotional.
Uncle Reg came here, man. No, you changed.
No, pops. It's okay, man. Caitlin's not there yet. It can't be, man.
No.
That's like saying Steph in his first year is up there with all-time greats or something. It's the
No, that's
the
not like
first
saying.
year.
That's not like saying that.
It's the first year. She ain't even get 1 season under her belt yet.
She has had an historic start to a WNBA career. Historic.
So you compare her to Cheryl Miller?
I didn't do that.
Are you comparing her to Candace Parker?
Who are you comparing
Are
her
you comparing her to Maya Moore?
No.
Are you comparing her to Cynthia Cooper?
No.
Are you comparing her to Tamika Catchings?
So who on the list? We going down the list. Oh,
Are you comparing her to Lisa Leslie?
Yeah.
No.
Like who are you? Okay.
No.
What list are you talking about?
No,
then?
I'm not comparing her to any of them. I'm saying she's on the roster. That's all. What?
I'm gonna let you off the hook.
Okay.
Did you eat this morning?
We'll let
Your attitude.
The great thing about a podcast is the internet with all those trolls will let us know.
Okay, give me your team again.
Cheryl Miller,
Yep.
Candace Parker,
Yep.
Diana. Is she on the list of Diana Taurasi?
No, I said so. We
Diana
have
Taurasi,
your attitude.
Maya
is
Moore.
awful. Your attitude is awful today. I'm just letting you know.
Cynthia Cooper, Lisa Leslie, and Tamika Catchings.
That's an impressive list.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's an
For
impressive
you to
list.
say that, we've come a long way.
But let me ask you a question.
We've come a long way.
Because I think Breonna Stewart has
absolutely.
has an
Now, her
impressive
body
resume
work, yes.
as anybody.
Yeah.
4-time champ at UConn. And has she won 1 or 2 in the WNBA?
We will research that. And
I
have
think
it.
she's won 1 or 2. Her body of work, and then MVPs. I think
Yes.
she's won 1 or 2 WNBA MVPs. So yes, she could be my 8th.
And I'll say this: people forget how great Cynthia Cooper was.
I'll tell you how great Cynthia Cooper was. She was coming off the bench on Cheryl's team. On those great USC teams.
Yeah.
She's coming off the bench
Yeah.
on those teams. It was the McGee twins, Cheryl, Rhonda Wyndham, and I can't remember who the starting shooting guard was. Cynthia Cooper was coming off the bench and could only get 15, 20 minutes a game on those great USC teams that were winning all those championships. That's how great Cheryl and the Lady Trojans were, dominating women's basketball in the 80s.
Absolutely.
And then obviously Cheryl didn't have the luxury of playing in the WNBA, but Cynthia Cooper, I mean, those first 4 years, the Rockets won 4 in a row. Yeah.
I'm glad we covered women's basketball. We took care of that.
We need to.
And you with the edge and the chip on your shoulders and a point to prove. You came here, fastened your seatbelt and everything.
I didn't come with notes. My stuff is up here. I don't need notes.
Oh, you Jigga, man. You Jay-Z all of a sudden.
I feel that.
I'm
Come on,
Jay-Z.
man.
No,
You got to put the paper away.
The resume is too much.
You got to put the paper away. This your main man. Y'all know these.
Come on, man.
No, we are.
Matter of fact, Uncle Reg, you remember when my pops first came to the team? Do you remember what you thought and what that felt like that day? What you was thinking about Mr. Mark Jackson?
Well, number one, I said finally, because I knew personally, internally, and I never told anyone this, but the only way that we were ever, because at the time, MJ was playing baseball, the East was going to be wide open, but really the East was going to run through New York, Pat Riley, and those teams. And I had already had a run-in with the Knicks. And that hatred was already built up for me. And I knew internally, personally, the only way that we were going to beat the Knicks is I had to find someone else who hated them just as much as I did and enter your pops because of everything that had transpired on his exodus from the Knicks, how they treated him, and the relationship he and I had had even before that, back from our high school days. I knew where his head was. And the only way we were going to beat Patrick and then Pat Riley and the Knicks is I needed someone who could be not only motivating for our team, personally for me, but who knew the inner dwellings of the Knicks. Yeah. Here he comes into frame.
Oh, this dude is, I said it yesterday on the show, he's on that Mount Rushmore of trash talkers. Yeah. It was comical watching this guy, the disdain he had for Knick fans. When the lights came on, when the lights were off, we ride into the arena on the bus. He's banging the back window out of the bus, yelling at the fans on Fifth Avenue, telling people, I'm like, dude, relax, man. Spike Lee choke signs. So he's like calling me at 3:30 in the morning. Yo, I can't sleep. Well, dude, can I get a nap? but we really was dedicated and determined. And one thing I want to ask you about, I know we was down 6 in Madison Square Garden and your historic run of 8 points in 9 seconds. But I can remember being in the timeout and saying, it's not over. And I've been in that situation thousands of times, and you sit there and you go, it's really over, but we're just saying this.
Right.
Did you believe it at the time?
I said to myself, if we got a quick 3 and cut it to 3, then we're going to have to play the free throw game, right? And then, if they miss one here and we come down and make another 2 or 3, and that's going to go on and probably time will expire. So when we got the first 3, I was like, okay, that's what happened. And I remember they didn't have any timeouts. And then Anthony Mason was taking out the ball. So obviously everyone's pressuring up. And we did a great job of overplaying. And then when Mace threw me that pass, it felt like it was in slow motion. Like I saw it. I saw Greg Anthony go down. And people say it was a shove. Come on, whatever. Get over it, Greg. Right? The pass, it was like your pops was throwing me a pass right in my midsection. And I knew immediately, catch, dribble, get behind the 3, and tie it up. Now, lo and behold, now we're going to get to Sam Mitchell. Sam, it worked out. Yeah. It worked out, but we didn't have to foul because we tied the game. But Sam maybe thought it was a 2 and we were down 1.
NBA Coach of the Year in his future.
Oh, why are you killing him like that?
That's crazy. That's crazy. What you doing today? What are you doing today?
I just gave him props.
Who are you?
I just gave him props.
What's going on?
Sam fouls John Starks, right?
Yeah.
And we're looking at Sam like, it's all right. If he makes 2, we're only down by 2 and we still have time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're by the bench. He's like, what is this dude doing?
John goes to the line and misses the first. We're like, oh, my God. And I'm saying to myself, there is no way he's going to miss another one, right? And Jack's over in the corner just shaking his head like, he's going to miss this. He's going to miss this one. And lo and behold, John misses the second. I get the rebound, get fouled, and then that's where the other 2 points came from the free throw line. And then remember, there was no timeouts left. And then that's when Greg Anthony is bringing it up and time expires. He falls down again. And then I just remember running to half court. Jack's running on my shoulder because I'm just talking. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just talking. I'm throwing birds up. I'm just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Jack is just jumping on my shoulders. Yeah. But people need to. I think we lost that series, right? Did we? No, we won that series. We won that series. But it was fun. That was
the best times. Is after that, you go into the locker room. Yeah. You share stories. You laugh at the faces and the frowns and the tears. Then you get on the bus. Then you get on the plane, and all of those moments that you revisit the experience that you just encountered.
What is great, and that's what makes team sports the best, the camaraderie, because you win and lose as a team. Because, the adulation that we just kind of expressed about 8 points in 9 seconds, we were on the losing side of that when LJ knocked down a 4-point play and was doing Jack's, signature thing, and we lost. So
on
the
phantom
highs
call,
and lows.
on a phantom call. I threw the lob. Go get it. Don't leave it by the rim.
Yeah, but they could say the same thing about I fouled Greg. Yes, it was a bad call. It shouldn't have been a 4-point play. It was on the ground. But I'm not going to cry because there's other times where
he looked betrayed right now.
It hurts. It hurts because people
shove all the time. People don't get 4-point plays.
And I think made that call. I thought it was just Kersey, and I remember Larry telling us that he came over to the bench and said, "Take that," to Larry and look. This is all speculation, people.
No, it's good. That's what you add into the movie,
right? This is all speculation, but according to our coaching staff, because they were giving the officials the business.
What did Jess say to him?
Take that. I'm like, whoa. But remember now, that was game 3. And it was 1-1 coming into game 3. If we win that, we go up 2-1. People forget, we won game 4 in New York to tie the series. But we could never recover from that loss in game 3 because if we won 3 and 4, we win that series.
Playing for Larry Bird was incredible. one of the all-time greats, one of our heroes that we watched and competed against, and brilliant basketball mind. But you remember the story when we for some reason we were in the layup line, and Reg and I, as the captains of the team, we had I don't remember what we had to go back.
People are not gonna believe this.
I don't remember what we had to go back and talk to Larry Bird about before the game. 20 seconds on the clock, we getting layups. Reg and I jog off the court, go into the back. And what do you take it from there?
So Jack and I, we go back into the locker room and we're like, you know, where's Coach? Where's Coach Bird? And they're like, oh, he's in his office. We go to his office. He's not in his office. We're like, you know, the trainers are back there. We're like, hurry up. We got to get back out to the court. Like, where is he? And then, you know what? It even might have been, God rest his soul, Slick. Looks us like, go check the shower. So we head back to the shower because, you know, we had to ask him this question, you know, before we got out there. We go around the corner. Larry Legend sitting in a chair. He's got a pack of Newports. Just smoking away. Oh, what you guys need? We're like, we're good, Coach. Don't worry about it, right? We're good. We're good. He's like, all right, I'll see you guys out there in a few minutes. I look at Jack. Jack looks at me. He's like, did we just Larry in there smoking a Newport? Right? We're like, this is Larry Legend.
Did y'all ever bring it up to him? No.
And it's documented the worst first half that a starting backcourt has had.
Oh my God! I couldn't make a shot.
We were mentally gone. Our hero, what we just witnessed affected us.
Now, mind you, remember now how we look at Larry Bird in our eyes. Number one, we played against him. I patterned my game after Larry Legend. You know, being from Riverside, this is the mid-'80s. Of course, it was Lakers-Boston. That was the rivalry. And you had to pick sides. So, you know, we were Laker fans. But I patterned my game after Larry Bird. I wanted to know how he worked out, how he approached games, his trash talking, all that. So this is how we looked at Larry. So for us to walk around the corner and see him just sprawled out on a chair.
Deep inhale.
Is it? What y'all need? Like, it wasn't a care in the world. Like, he was shocked, like, oh, God. Here's our captains. It wasn't anything like that.
That is hilarious, man. All right, real quick, y'all. we gotta pause because this is the end of part one of our episode with Reggie Miller. Let's go ahead and give it up.
Yeah.
It's great so far. Part two is gonna be coming out on Monday, so stay tuned. And we love y'all. Go ahead and comment and like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all soon, man.
That's right. More Reggie Miller on the way. There will be an episode 2, but we had such a great time sitting down and breaking bread and talking to a guy that I love. He's family. And I want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Thank you so much for your love and support. And I want to give a special shout out to my guy, Blue. We missed him. Hopefully I held it down for him, but I promise you, Blue will be back soon. That's a wrap for this episode of the Mark Jackson Show. Remember, the year was 1977. A group of friends got together to record a record. And they realized sitting in the room that the main background singer was missing, didn't show up. So the lady sat there and said, I got a suggestion. One of the background singers said, my 14-year-old daughter can be the substitute. She can replace her and do a great job. They wasn't with it, but they had no other option. So they said, okay. That 14-year-old girl in 1977 was absolutely flawless, spectacular, ready for the moment. We now know that 14-year-old girl as one of the greatest singers, if not the greatest singer to ever live. It's the legend, the late, great Whitney Houston. She used that moment to propel her on to greatness, to rare air. I say that to say to you, be ready so you don't have to get ready. You never know when your opportunity will come. And when it does, hit the note. Blessings.